here at our Hammond, Indiana facility for our grand opening. It had, we're so super excited to have you here, and we have some very special guests. We have some very important guests. I feel like they all are my family. All of them have been just super amazing to come here to make this happen. And so we want to give you a workshop experience because we have a plethora, I say, just right here on this first row. We have a plethora of not only information, but we have a plethora of wealth. What nephew that? We have a plethora. We have a plethora of wealth sitting on this front row, and so they're going to give you some gems, some nuggets. We do have notepads if you need them. What we would like for you to do is, if you can, take notes, because everybody that we brought to the table, they have a lot of experience in businesses. They have a lot of experience in wealth, a lot of experience in being successful. And so a lot of times we want to make sure, especially what I would love to do is I always love to bring people in to give you the formula of what success look like. How does that sound? So how many of y'all really looking forward to hearing these spectacular guests? They have 20 minutes because they're on a time. Some of them are on the time strain. We understand that. And so please, you want to welcome everybody, all right? They are all important people to us. We all important. Say, I'm important. I'm important. How many of y'all know y'all important? And so we have a lot of information for you today. I'm gonna say this really quickly. We have a apprenticeship programs, but what I have did is turn them into apprenticeship academies. So this is just one of our many locations. We were blessed to have locations in other cities, and so we're just super excited that you are in. You guys coming in? We're so super excited that you guys have come to our Hammond, Indiana facility. We have classrooms here, a kitchen where it will be a culinary kitchen. We are going to take over the whole building. So what we're doing is we're doing the work in phases. So I really want to thank all of the instructors. So these gentlemen are somebody you should know. I own a construction company called Three Kingdoms Construction, and I own a construction academy. So these guys went through the academy and they became instructors. I want them to stand up really quick. That's who did the work. Yeah. Floyd Owens, Dr. Antoine Tony, Deacon Donald Outlaw, Latanya, and myself. These gentlemen stayed here. I just knew, I said, God, their wives gonna kill me. But their wives were so gracious. We just so excited about them and their future. So we're going to get started. Remember, you guys have 20 minutes. We're going to break. We have a banquet hall downstairs, but we have a plethora of food. You want to eat, man, we got it down there for you. We got gifts. We have gift bags in the next room. And so if you can stay with us, for those of you that can stay and attend all the workshops, you're going to get a plethora of information. So I want to introduce my first guest. This is not the first time I met him. Some of you who watch, what is it, Black Ink, right?
Black Ink Crew.
Black Ink Crew. You guys could tell I ain't cool, so that's okay. Black Ink Crew. He is a tall guy, but a gentle giant. I remember when I met him my first time. For some reason, I thought he was short. And when he came to our Matson office, man, but he had turned out to be just this great person. He's not only an actor, he's not only an activist, he's a fitness coach. And he owns a gym. So if you want some fitness plans, we're going to be doing some stuff together in this facility. So let's welcome to our, you know what? So you guys should clap harder because Chase is giving us a deal where we bring in all of these people to $1 million platform. So we want to add you to the platform. So we bring in our first guest, and that's none other than Bishop Don. Come on, let's go.
Thank you, everyone. How you doing?
Thank you.
Man, it's so weird with these mics in small rooms. So I'm putting the mic down because I like to speak I like to speak with my hands, one of those people. So again, welcome. Thank you, Apostle, for having me. This is one of those things that feels more like a family opportunity and being able to share some love, share my experience, and hopefully through my experience I'm able to inspire, help you find your journey and continue on your road to success and growth and healing, and therefore being able to share something with someone else that might save somebody else or help someone else grow. Most of you probably recognize me from Black Ink Crew, Chicago. We had one of the #1 TV shows on VH1. At that point in my life, I was a young man coming in, fresh out of college, 23, 24 years old, walking into an opportunity for most who see fame as just this big hurrah, like this big savior. But in reality, it's not. It's just an opportunity and another platform to take advantage of. For me, by the time I first got on TV, I was battling depression. I was, to be honest with you guys, I had a bad problem with alcohol. And then my grandma used to tell me, because I'm Brumfield from Mississippi. So you know, right? So my family always had this problem, and I was suffering that problem at a young age, and also with battling with the opportunity to be on TV. And I didn't have mentors around me. I didn't have a big brother around me, someone to guide me through this process. So what God decided to do, he said, I'm going to put this young man in a big old chokehold to wake him up. And sometimes that's what it takes. Say somebody be put in a chokehold, and then through that chokehold, you get to find out who your real family is, who your real friends are, who are the people who really want to truly see you be successful. Because they're going to be the ones saying, hey man, let's go for a walk instead of let's go get some drinks. Let's go for this jog instead of let's eat this crazy food. Let's, instead of letting me wild out, they're the one that say, you're going to fight me before you get yourself in trouble. And through that hardship is where I started finding myself. And it took everything to be broken down. I had to start flat open. Me and my wife went through a separation. My kids were separated at the time, and it woke me up in such a way I finally saw what it meant to be alone. And that's what I needed. Sometimes you need to be alone to see what it takes to become the best version of you. So there, in that moment, I found what is my why. I want everyone to always think about your why. Your why has to be bigger than tomorrow. Your why has to be bigger than this weekend. I need this couple of dollars. I need to stack up for this to go kick it with the guys or the girls. Or this why has to be bigger than I just want to lose this 10 pounds on this trip. It has to be way bigger. For me, my why was my children. My baby boys and my daughter were growing up so fast in front of me. I remember it was just this one morning, my son was looking, he wanted to do something. Dad didn't have the energy. And that was just because of my bad habits. And it hurt me so bad not to be able to do certain things with them. And I started thinking, man, what would this be like when they're teenagers? How's this going to look when they're 9, 10, 11, 12 years old? Who will they see? What will I have represented in front of them beyond just being on TV? Now my kids don't care about me being on TV. That's like, my son does not care. My son cares more about me bodybuilding than he ever thought about me being famous. He's excited to be in the gym with me, do things like that, go for a run with me. And that's when I woke up and realized, man, my why has to be so much bigger. And through my why, I found myself. I started going to therapy, and then that's where fitness came into play. So I've always been an athlete, but I didn't realize how much that trauma was connected to me. I grew up in a household on 59th and Hermitage. in Inglewood, where we, 10 aunties, uncles, half of them coming from jail, half of them coming home, half of them coming in the door, leaving out the door, and basketball was an escape. I didn't know how much basketball meant to me therapeutically, not just about being an athlete, it was my escape. And when I got away from being organized, being around organized people, being around a coach who was a mentor, those things, I lost myself. And so through fitness, I found myself again. And then through fitness, I was able to better my health. It made me more focused daily. I had a goal. And my why was about being Superman to my children for as long as I can. And that is what caused me to compete in my first show, and I never wanted to look back. I felt like my son saw me hit the stage first time, and I never heard him scream that much for me in my life. And it was a room full of like 300 people, and I'm telling you, I can't make this up, man. I knew where he was at, but I really knew he was at when amongst all these people clapping, I could hear him going, "Go, Dad! Let's go, Dad! Let's go, Dad!" I'm talking about screaming his lungs out, God. And I was trying to cry while I was up there, to be honest with you, my big self, but for the first moment, I was reminded what unconditional love looks like. It means somebody want to see you be great, somebody want to see you win. And from that moment forth, I vowed that I would not turn back into that old person. I would not go down the same old roads. My health is more important. Being able to spend time with them is more important. Spending time with the people who give into me is more important. And that's where fitness came into play for me. It turned my whole image around. I wasn't doing it to kind of clean it up, it just happened. From there, I became not doing reality TV, I became an actor. It became that. I fell into a whole nother passion that I love. Now I got about 6 #1 movies on Tubi.
Tubi,
You can go watch Paper Heart, you can go watch Omission, you can go watch Quick Money, Affair. I just did another one that's coming out, Don't Look Back. And all of these are great products. I mean, I know Tubi got his little, jokes on Facebook, but I promise you, the greatest part about it is being a room full of us. Yes. This is an opportunity for us to be great. These writers, these young men and women who are putting their hearts into these stories, these producers, it's us being able to feed each other. And that's what I like doing about it, getting able to create jobs for each other, opportunity for each other. Somebody might have never seen this sister or this brother act before, and now they're on a platform where millions of people get to see their talent, and that's why I love doing it. It's a beautiful experience. And through that, I've learned, man, it's about giving, take your time. Paying our tithes is not always going to be monetary. It's going to be our energy, the moments you take out each day. So that's what pushed me into opening my own facility called Apex Universe. It's not about being a big swole guy like me. It's really about about being the best version of yourself. To be the apex in your lane. I don't care if you're a doctor, a lawyer, a realtor. You could be a nurse. You could be a content creator. You could, whatever you are, striving to be the best at it. Why BS if you're doing it? Why play around if you're doing it? Why not strive and study to become the best version of yourself to top? Just be at the top. It's not about competing with somebody else. Compete with yourself. Amen. One day at a time. One day at a time. If you take it one step forward, you won. One step forward is a win. That's it. And that's what I thrive on. So what I did with Apex Universe, I turned it into an environment that lets people feel comfortable. I promise you I can't make this up. I call her TT. TT comes from Bronzeville. Every day in her pace van. Always in Elmwood Park, Illinois. So roughly, we talking, depending on traffic, around 30, 40 minutes in her pace van. So she can come in there, listen to our music, walk on her she got her designated treadmill. She do an hour walk. She don't bother nobody. She come in fly her Jordans on. She come in dancing. And she did it because her life depended on it. She needed to lose a certain amount of pounds to save her life. And we gave her an environment where she's not feeling judged, where she's feeling loved. The whole room is excited to see her. I got the couch and the TV where after she take her walk, she eat her lunch. She cut the stories on, nobody says nothing. TT is watching Jerry Springer right now, y'all gotta wait. All her shows go off, TV will be free at 3 o'clock. Right? But that is the reason why I built that facility, for everyone to feel loved, feel comfortable, whether you're an expert at fitness or a beginner. That's what it's about. And I think anything that we're striving to do outside of fitness, no matter what it is, create an environment that's open and welcoming, where you're giving first. I believe that the blessings come later. And I'm grateful that we're able to give to people our time, our energy, my strength. You know, my strength is not, I'm not talking about actually my physical, just my strength to overcome my trauma, help someone else overcome their trauma. So they can see a person in their face daily that's been through something that recovered. And I'm happy to be able to do that, be at arm's reach with so many people who watch me on movies or watch me on TV and think celebrities are supposed to be, I don't know what they think we're supposed to be, but I have to remind them, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and all it was for me was an opportunity to bless my family. And through blessing my family, I want to continue to bless others. So, you know, if you guys are searching for your why, find your why first. Really sit down and think about it. I know money is usually a part of it, but why does the money matter? Who does it matter to? Who will you save? Who will you be able to help? That why has to be so powerful that I promise you, motivation goes out the window. After a while, the people that you see who are successful, who finished it, the guys who can finish the construction classes, the guys who you see become CEOs, the guys you see running their own companies, businesses, it was not motivation after that. It was literally discipline. Their why pushed them to be disciplined. So what I'm sharing is my why has pushed me to be so disciplined I won't break. Because I have to win for them, for the ones I love, for the people I want to see win, for the people I plan to see win. That's my why. You know, so I want everyone to take from me today, find your why. Just that why, people overlook it, you're gonna think about it later. It's gonna hit you later. It may not hit you right now, but that why is gonna hit you so hard that you're gonna be like, yo, it's go time. I'm not pumping the brakes. I'm up at 6 a.m. Because there's no excuse. If you don't feel you healthy right now, what stops you from getting up and taking a walk? A walk a day, 30 minutes a day, around the block a couple times. I have an old man in my neighborhood, we call him Papa. He's 89 years, he's about 90. He has a cane. You won't think he's not, because he gonna run up on you and mess with you and poke at your pockets. He like to mess with you. But he walks the neighborhood every day. He don't watch TV. He walks the neighborhood. He's Polish. He can't speak too much English. So all he knows is no money, no honeys. This is what he tells me every day. And it's a little joke. He goes, no money, no honeys. And he walks up on you and he salutes you. He might point his cane at you, play with you, but he walks every day. Every day. And I said, I got no excuse. This man, 90 years old, he gets up every day, winter, rain, snow, and walks. Because he's determined to stay alive. He's determined to live, he's determined to move. So we got no excuse. Just get up. If it's 5 a.m., if you gotta be at work at 8, get up at 5. Take a 30-minute walk. You know, walk around the block, do a little jog, jumping jacks. Whatever it is, start somewhere. And then start writing every day. If it's your goals, write it every day. Every day I'm writing down 3 things that gotta get done today, and then 3 things that I'm gonna pray for and manifest. And the thing is, God is gonna give it to us. It just don't always come in the same form that we wrote it down in or prayed for it in. But he might give you the tool that you needed to get to this level. We talk about money issues, he might put something in front of you that's an opportunity for you to create money. He can't just give it to us. So we have to be able to realize everything that's in front of us is here. Everything we're praying for is here. The opportunities are here. Utilize it. Today, he put all y'all in this room for a purpose. I'm hoping that my message, my words are able to be grasped, my testimony to be shared. You know, I literally came home with nothing, you guys. Came home with nothing. Luckily, I had a brother who loves me. He was like, hey, man, if you don't get this tattoo shop with me and make some money. And it went from there, and the history was wrote from there, just because I took advantage of an opportunity. I could have laid around and stayed drunk. I could have laid in my depression and my feelings, but it became bigger. And then being able to come out and speak became bigger when I lost all in the same year of getting blessed. I lost my uncle, I lost my grandma, I lost my sister to suicide. And I could have just broke. I could have just gave up, you know, and I kept pushing. And a few years later, I was able to find myself. And I'll be able to speak my word. I just lost my father this past March. And it's the hardest thing because he's my best friend. My daddy was young. My daddy was only 54. So he's young man. He had me in high school. He was my best friend. And the day I got the news he passed, I'm out of town working on the movie. And he was like, hey man, you want us to fly you home? I said, I can't do nothing. Let me work. Let me do what my father wanted to see me do, and that's be great. I could have just went home and got drunk with the rest of my family, sat down in my feelings and just quit. But I know how much my dad wants to see me happy and be great. So I said, the greatest thing I can do is be great to honor him. I'm a junior. So if I'm going to keep his name going, let me be great. And to say that we all heal different, we all mourn different, but I want to say, no matter what the obstacle is, we can overcome it. Yes. Think about it, absorb it, realize it's happening, go past it. If it's money issues, there's a way to create opportunities. Too many things to do nowadays. Too many people get money just clipping toes on the internet. Right? It's crazy. It's not an excuse. If it's your health and weight loss, there is a way. I promise you. There is no limit to how old you got to be to start or what you got to do to start. We can start at any point. Let's just do it. I don't care if we got to walk. I will come walk with you. We will walk to the grocery store. I don't care. We don't walk. We don't move. We don't breathe. You know, whatever it is. Let's get it done. And that's what Apex is about. That's what Apex means for me. It just means being the best version of yourself, guys. So I'm Don Brumfield. I can be found there on IG, Facebook. All these places is Don Brumfield. IG is Bishop __ Don. I'm always here to listen, talk, help. If it's about fitness, I got you. If acting, coaching, I'm doing that too now, starting up for all the inspiring young actors and actresses. I'm here to dispose of. This is family to me. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm thankful to be here to speak to you guys. And that's my time, man. That's right.
That was amazing. Let's give Bishop Don. Come on, y'all getting 3 workshops. We're going heavy duties in here. We just want to make sure that you feel welcome. He gave Omi so many nuggets. I mean, so many nuggets. So I hope you guys grasp that. We will have opportunity to ask the panel questions, but we want to move along. So I'm so excited about having this next guest. I mean, when I first talked to him on the phone, how many of y'all talk to people on the phone the first time and they pleasant? Oh, okay, not everybody. 10 of y'all raised your hand, but the other 10 was like, oh no. So y'all never talked to nobody the first time and they were very pleasant? Yes. You! Oh my God. Department of Labor, DOL, was the nicest person to meet. But so when I talked to him and he was so nice, I was like, usually people don't really be that nice. But anytime you coming from Arizona, I don't know if y'all been to Arizona, everybody in Arizona is important because I'd have been to, that's why I stayed 30 days out of the whole month. Because you come to Arizona, everybody there important, they nice, and they gonna talk about business. So I am so happy to have this guest in our house. His name is Corey. Yeah. He owns the successful nightclub called 1111. Is that right?
Yeah.
1111. So sometimes we don't look at people as being, especially as Christians, we don't look at people as being successful if they're not in our field. But guess what? There's so many people that are successful that you could take nuggets from. So Corey is going to talk about, I think, real estate invest. Corey's successful in everything, I heard. And this is his lovely fiance. Stand up, way, Chelsea.
Yeah.
We welcome them from Arizona. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. So one of the main elements I try to preach in life is positivity. I'm not from Arizona. I'm from right around the corner, Kenosha, Wisconsin. And part of how I live my life is to be nice to people and to network. When I first met Black, probably about 15 years ago, I was standing outside one of my clubs, and Black was sitting there. He was clean. He was sharp. Like he's sharp right now. He was clean. I said, man, where you from, brother? And he was like, I'm from Chicago. I said, yeah, I knew, right? So then me and Black got to, we built a friendship, and that's why I'm here today, right? And then I met his sister, and it's kind of how my life has evolved in all type of aspects. I was a college coach for 17 years. I invest in real estate now, which I'm gonna touch on as well. And I own a nightclub. We do all type of stuff. We got a respite facility we're starting up right now for drug rehab and stuff like that. Yeah, we got a restaurant, all type of stuff. So just business format. But I tie it all together, every single aspect from I'll have my college players work as security at the nightclub. Then they get all their friends to come. It's just everything with the networking process, even from my contractors to building the club, to everything is all connected. Like it all ties in with each other. When I was in 7th grade, I wanted to be rich. And I said, how do you become a millionaire? And the number one way in America to becoming a millionaire was inheritance. I said, damn. Right? That was it. I was like, man. But then I looked at number 2, and number 2 said real estate. So I was like, oh, what's that? Right? I didn't quite understand it. I was in 6th grade. Then my brother went to the military. And my brother does real estate as well. My brother is 52? Yeah, just turned 52. He ain't worked in about 15 to 18 years. He ain't got a W-2. He got his GI Bill, which goes to show you there's so many levels and so many avenues in real estate. He has his path, and he took it his way, even though me and him night and day. He light skinned, I'm dark skinned. He's short, I'm tall. But his way worked for him, right? It's gonna be the same way with real estate for you guys. There's a lot of avenues. I had a contract before when 9/11 happened. They did a Homeland Security Act. I had all these homes, and I got a Border Patrol contract. I was like, Border Patrol? And now all this stems from networking, right? I knew this person who knew this person who called me. Say, hey, I need the Border Patrol to stay in your home. And I said, Border Patrol? Why? He's like, oh, well, they didn't have housing. So then I got this contract, $3,600 a month and like $2,000, right? I was like, what? Okay, so I rode with it. So then there's highs and lows in any business that you do, right? So I learned, because I had all these homes, and I had what they call now is the predatory loans, right? Pre-bubble, before the real estate market crashed and the bubble, and it just busted. I had all these homes, but I had what they call as interest-only loans, right? They don't even loan those. They don't even do those no more. And I learned, because 2 things I learned starting is that you got to you got to know all the information. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have every single aspect. I was able to get all these homes with a stroke of a pen, and just boom, 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 boom. I think I had like 14 homes, and I couldn't get a credit card. So, these loans was a little shaky. So then I figured out the correct way to go about things. So I let go of these homes and figured out the law. So studying, learning, and networking with the right people helped me come from where I was doing pretty good, then I went into the basement. Then I came back up because I learned, studied, and I had what they call, mental toughness. I just wasn't gonna fold, So it was like, all right, most of the time when people run into a bad situation, it just breaks them and they go down that path. I'm not that way. When I first met my fiance, she said, "You don't just wake up in a bad mood?" I said, "Never." It's like, never. I wake up happy. You know, I'm thankful to God I'm here. I got another chance to be great, to be better every single day. So that was my approach in life, and it's been that way. So as I went down this tunnel, and then I learned some different laws and some different stuff, and always putting out positive energy. My grandma was a missionary for AME Church for 80 years. I mean, I took her to get a plaque. She got this big old plaque for 80 years. So the energy of helping people and putting out that positive energy in the world, it always comes back to you. So when I went down and then I came back up, it was from a positive person reaching out to me about a program, right? So there's only 4 states in the country. I think it's Oklahoma, it's Illinois, which is right next to you guys right here, like Mississippi and Arkansas, that have tax-free loans. Not tax-free loans, they're called tax lien properties, right? So tax lien properties, the government can take your home if you're not up on your taxes, right? And so there was a lot of homes that were, like built in the 1900s, 1920, 1930, 1940, 50s, whatever. And these people's parents, grandparents, whatever, purchased these homes. Then when they pass it down to the next generation, they fumble, right? Or they're just not around, or they didn't have kids, they went to the nursing home, they had, whatever it may be, they weren't able to keep this property. So then, in every other state, it doesn't work like this, but these 4 main states, right? Which is why it's very, very important. And what I call is the cheat code, right? So, yeah, I call it the cheat code. So when I first started this, you could get a property for, when I started a little bit later, but it was like 10,000. And I knew this, and this is how my life works. The devil was working, right? He was working. When I tell you, I mean working. We had the club, and then I had to fly from Arizona to Oklahoma. Boom, bad weather, right? Cancel my flight. I'm in the thing now. This auction takes place once a year, right? And it's on Monday morning, the second Monday in June. So I'm flying out Sunday. I'm gonna be there Sunday night, get up Monday, go to the auction. Devil said, nope, it ain't gonna be that easy. So they canceled my flight, and I said, dang, what I'm gonna do? Here it goes, here come God. See one of my friends, he worked for the airline, he's like, man, they canceling these flights. He's like, here, I'm gonna help you out. I said, what you gonna do? He said, where you going? I said, Tulsa. He said, nope, I'm gonna send you to Dallas. You're gonna get a rent-a-car, and you'll drive from Dallas to Tulsa. I said, easy. Boom. Fly to Dallas? No, fly to Dallas. Here come the devil. Bam! All the lights out. No power, no nothing. Right? No power, no nothing in the airport. No power. Right? So I'm in the rental car line. They doing the old school receipts. You remember how they would swipe it with the ink? Right? Nobody does that no more. They ain't done that in, 25, 30 years. Right? So I'm like, dang, I'm gonna get the rental car. And he's like, we gonna figure it out. So I got it. Got the rental car, drove to Tulsa. This is after I had done a whole bunch of good investments and some okay investments, some bad ones, whatever, right? So I get to Tulsa and I find out the information I got originally was only a portion of the information. So me being me, and me networking with people in the room, there was these Mexican ladies, and they had this computer, and they was talking, and I was like, dang, what type of information y'all got? Because they had like 3 laptops. They was set up, they was rolling. And they was like, well, we don't want no homes over here on this side. We went and checked them out, but we don't want to deal. Basically, with the north side of Tulsa is a black community, right? And Tulsa was important to me because I had relatives there, and then about the Tulsa massacre and all that other type of stuff that went down. So I didn't have a problem going into the black neighborhood. So I told the Mexican ladies, I said, well, listen, I'm gonna give y'all $200. Bam, bam, give them $200 right there. I said, y'all gonna help me out? They said, yes, we are. And I said, there we go. So I got my first properties. Mind you, when you're at an auction, so when the guy's talking fast, or 35, 45 for the minute, all that, right? So I get my first property, and I bought 2 back to back, bam, bam, right? And I was like, oh, it's kind of a thrill, rush. Then I get to the house. Dang, this is it, right? I'm like, whoa, right? To get to the house, it's cool, but it's not cool. You know what I mean? It's it's got good bones, but it's ugly, right? So I'm like, all right, here go my other part. So now I have to remodel these homes, right? So keep in mind, every single path for you could be different in how you do real estate. Like I got 4plexes, I got duplexes, I got multifamily, you name it, land. So everything is different. So with these properties, I said, okay, so I got to fully remodel these homes. So now what's my next step? Now when you purchase the property, this is what's great. They give you the deed. As soon as you purchase it, right there. You take that money up to the office, wham, wham, you get the deed, you get the title, right? Any other state in the country doesn't do that, right? They give the person a chance to buy it back, the bank or the person, and they'll hold your money for maybe 2-3 years, and you might get a 6 to 12% interest come back. And I was like, I don't want that. So this is why I think this is the cheat code. So I get a $10,000 property, which now these properties are going for 30 to 50, right? But I get a $10,000 property, and I put $30 to $40,000 into it. Now, since I run multiple businesses, right, I try to lower my taxes. So I take the money that I'm making from here, and instead of paying the taxes to the government, I pay the taxes. I purchase and put this property, and I remodel it, and then it brings my it brings my normal taxes down, right? So if the government was going to take that 25% to 35%, so if I would have made, prime example, if you make $100,000 and they want their $33,000, I'm going to take 25 from this remodel and take it out. So now I don't have to pay this government the $35,000. I'm going to have to pay them 7 or 8, right? So then that works together. So in order for that to work together, then you just keep buying them and keep buying them and keep buying them. Now, once I get this property and it's $10,000 and I put $30,000 into it, now it's worth about $150, right? So some people, because I got a cousin who does this too, because she doesn't make the type of money that I make, and she doesn't need that type of tax shelter, tax break, she gets a loan on the property. So now she owns it, she has the deed, it's free and clear. She takes out the so say if it's worth $150, they'll give you $130,000 on it. She's probably $40,000 into it, maybe 50. And then she takes that money out, and then she reinvests it. Now me, I don't do that. I just keep them. And then I get the residual income. And then if I ever want to retire from that part, or if I want to just sell it, I can just sell the whole portfolio. But my plan is to create generational wealth. So rather than, I drove the same car for 14 years. I got a really good one now. So Can't complain. But I invested and invested, and I didn't just spend. So that's what a lot of people do. They'll either live above their means. Like I said, I've been a business owner for 23 years. So I've been making really good money for a long, long time. And I'm still, even today, I still live way below my means. So when you're investing, the scary part about it is like, you throw this money out, and then do you want it to come back? But if you have whatever's in you to be able to adjust to any climate, to any situation, it helps you be able to deal with whatever you got to deal with in the public, because there's always going to be something, In the nightclub, we got to deal with drunks, you got to deal with gangbangers, you got to deal with just some people are just crazy, right? This is what it is, right? Now, for me, I wanted to create a healthy environment, so all the angles that I take place for everything, they all, like when I say, they keep coming back together and clicking together. This newest nightclub, when I took it over, now remember I remodel all these homes and all these other homes that I get for the tax lien homes. So I learned a lot. So now when I get this nightclub, I have to fully remodel it, change it, and get it up to par. And people say, oh, you can't do that in a club, it take you 6 to 9 months. I said, it might take you 6 to 9 months, right? So it's gonna take me 2 months. Everybody, whole city, no way. It's not happening, you can't do it. No. Me, I'm a firm believer in faith. I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get it done. So I think I had 2 to 3 crews, and I was going 20-hour shifts. So then you also have to sacrifice. A lot of people aren't willing to sacrifice for whatever it may take. If it was easy, then anybody would do it. So everybody would be walking around and be like, oh, I'm successful, I'm this, I'm that. I would literally blink, get back up, kiss her goodbye, and say, you know where I'm gonna be at, right? And I did it. It took me, but I learned from the experience of the real estate. So when you're putting all this together, then my networking skills would take place as far as, well, I knew this person. I know this person who does floors. I know this person does paint. This person does the rails. This person does sound and audio. I had every single thing down. So it's important tonight as well that when you guys walk out of this room, you need to be getting 10, 15, 20, 30 numbers. As many, because when it comes down to it, if you're ever going to start anything, you're ever going to help, she just says she got construction workers. If he's one of them, but he can't do it, and guarantee you he know 10 more. 10 more, he can give you that person. Well, when we first started dating, she said, who are you? I wish people would just call me to get me some money. And I said, it don't work like that. That's not what it is, right? So I got friends who would do some real estate investment. They would do these big projects and basically like hard money loans. And they'd say, hey man, give me 5,000, 2,000, 10,000, 8, 7, whatever it may be, right? Whatever your budget may be. And he'd say, I'm gonna pay you back in about 2 to 3 months, depending on the closing time. And I'd say, all right. And so then I would send him the money and then get it back. And she go, how does that work? I don't need to do that, right? So, and I like dealing with us because a lot of people like us don't get these opportunities, right? So I love to share the knowledge of, like, even the tax lien thing is like, it's incredible. Like, where else could you get a house for cheaper or the same price as your car? Right? So something that's gonna depreciate, but this goes up. This appreciates, right? So the tax lien part is so simple too. Like people, it's crazy because like we could really just look at the information's right there. If you go into the city, if you go into any city hall, any city building, and you ask, and you take an hour, you can find out anything. Like how to get the permit, when is the date for the sale, whatever it may be. Is there a lien on the property? There's so many ways if you just spend an hour in the city. And that's any city. So if you came to this city and you wanted to look and figure out something, if you just go to the city.
Or call my sister.
Networking always gonna work.
Renee Williams, she worked for Cook County Assessor's Office.
See? And assessors, you know, she got all the plugs. She gonna tell you who to go. Oh, well, here, but take this over to the treasurer. This take. So let me give you another rewind. So I own a nightclub. I get so liquor license costs a lot. Especially in Arizona, they're very limited. So I start networking, and one of my friends, we're out of town, and one of my friends says, and we had already put this business together, we knew we was gonna get it, knew how to get a license, and I call, and I said, yo, man, we need a license. And he said, yo, you know, one of my boys was just talking about it, but I don't know him, I know the other guy. And so I said, I said, who's the guy who's got the license? He's like, Jabbar. I'm like, oh, that's my guy, right? So this is how it works. So then call Jabbar. Jabbar says, man, I got the license, but it's got a loan on it. He says, it's got a tax lien loan on it. And I said, perfect, right? So I already knew what to do. I said, we get the attorney, we get the title company. And he was like, all right, it's $75,000 on the loan. I said, okay, how much you want? He said, give me 50. I said, 125? I said, give me a second. Meanwhile, I'm the knowledge. I've been in this industry for forever. So I'm doing jumping jacks. I'm going crazy. Liquor license, 250,000, 300,000. So I'm like, 125. I'm winning, right? So I take that same process that I learned from every aspect of business, networking, marketing, connecting the dots, positive energy, and then knowledge of knowing your field, of what your obstacles are going to be and what something is worth, what the value is. And I take that and I call one of my attorneys and I say, yo, can you execute this? He says, no. I said, okay, who can? He said, I'm going to text you. He gives me the number, boom, gives me the attorney, I execute it. And I double up, right? So every aspect of what I do always connects. Like it always connects. What you doing back there? Yeah, so with real estate, and so like if you don't want to be an investor and you want to start something, you want to, tax liens are great. And you want to just start off and you want to just get a home, right? So my first home I just used it so I bought the nightclub and I took out a HELOC loan on this. HELOC loan was a home equity line of credit, right? So once I took out that home equity line of credit, took out $500,000 on that loan, and I remodeled the club, right? Paid the home equity loan back in about 2 months. Boom, so now I'm free. I only paid, let me see here. Less than $10,000. Paid less than $10,000 to get, but this was the equity that I had in my own home. So home ownership is so important that you get to use it to benefit you if your kids needed to go to college, if you ever got sick, whatever it may be. That real asset, that real property is what's so important that most people, they really don't understand how much it can benefit you, right? So, and I explain this to my players now, so I have a plan. When you think about it, over the past, 2-3 years, rent has doubled, tripled, right? Not mortgages.
Right.
If you owned your property, you're gonna be at the same spot.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
You're at the same spot. We brought a property 3 years ago. 2020, in the midst of when everybody was like, the end of the world, right? We was like, I said, we finna buy, right? And it still goes to show our mortgage is here, right? So I only got 2 mortgages. I own all the rest of the stuff. But our mortgage is here, like in the basement, where it would basically cost us now what a 2-bedroom apartment is, right? But if we bought our home still today, it would be like quadruple. So there's so many aspects of how you get to advance with just real estate, just from owning your own home. And then there's programs. So with real estate, don't just do it all by yourself. Figure out there's a program for everything. There's a program for you're a black woman, you're a single black woman, you're a black male. There's so many programs for almost everything. Because my mom did it. My mom moved from Wisconsin to Tucson. And I said, and she came and she was living with me. She's like, oh, I'm finna get my own house. And I said, you ain't got a job. She said, not yet, but I'm gonna get one. I said, well, how you gonna get a house? No job, no credit, right? So you're also talking to people, the elders, they'll teach you some stuff. So she looked on this program and she was like, well, they pay me to get the house. And then I can't sell the house for 3 to 4 years. And then they pay me to fix it. I said, what? I was like, where you find that? She's like, it's all right there. So she got this property, a really good property. I think right now she pays, her mortgage is like $625 a month, right? It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, and it's probably worth now about $400,000, $500,000, right? But she got it on the deal just because it needed something like a roof and a AC unit, and then they paid for it, which was crazy. So when I'm telling you, like, if you look at all these programs, and you can find these programs at the city. So how Arizona is, and I think, this area is the same way. Each city, so like, what's the surrounding cities within like a 20 to 30 mile radius around here? Can somebody help me out? Okay, so you can get a program from each one of those cities, right? So if you want a house there, and you want a house in this city, or if you want a 4-plex, if you want a duplex, whatever, you can get a program just by going to the city and asking them, hey, what are you guys offering? This and that. And in every single city, they have something for you. They'll have a grant, they'll have a...
Grants, keep talking about grants, bro.
Yeah, I got all type of information on grants. Like my sister was just sending me stuff on grants. So like they give you a grant, and the grant might not pay for your own home, right? The whole home, but it might give you a down payment, right? Everybody in here, I can see looks nice, dresses well. Y'all ain't homeless, which means you're paying rent or mortgage. But you should never be paying rent, if at all possible. You should always be paying for a mortgage, right? Now, sounds crazy coming from me because I make a lot of money off people paying rent, right? but I would love for black people to be able to put your resources together. I mean, it can be, I'm sure everybody got 3, 4, 5 cousins, nieces. So for me, I'm trying to get the younger generation to come together and to stop doing, oh, I gotta be on my own. Oh, I gotta be on my own. No. I seen this probably 30 years ago. So I moved from Wisconsin to California to play basketball. And I noticed that the Asians and the Mexicans had these big houses. And I was like, wow, right? And this is the truth. And I'm like, how many people come out of this house every day, right? So then, I'm like, there's gotta be a reason why, right? They don't just do, see, so people coming from, if you look at the right perspective and not just look at it from a like, oh, I couldn't live like that, they living like roaches, no, they living smart, really, really smart. So I got to the root of it. They said, hey, these homes are expensive here in California. They're really, really expensive. So if they're expensive, I'm not gonna divide up my 7 family members. I'm gonna put all these family members in the same household, right? And so let's go back. So when this first happened. So say mortgages back then, because these are California homes, it probably was $400,000, $500,000. It was big. There was big houses. So their mortgage was probably $2,500 to maybe even $3,500 a month, just depending on where the interest rates were and all that type of stuff. So let's just say $3,500 a month, and they have 4 or 5 families living in there. What they would do is, and I got that, so I learned this, like by asking questions and being nice to people, and just having some intuitiveness. They would take the 4 to 5 heads of the family, would say, hey, if I was living in a normal house, I'd be paying $1,500 to $2,000 in California. So now we take $2,000 for 4 to 5 families, $8,000 to $10,000 a month, and we pay off the house in 2 years. Right? 2 to 3 years, right? So then they would do that, and then they said, hey, so we do this for 15 years because Bob would buy another house. And then the family split. And now instead of 5 families in this house, there's maybe 2 in this one, 3 in that one. Yep. Right? But then they own this one, so now the heads of the family stick together. And they take that $10,000 a month and they pay off that next house. So in 3 years, they go buy another one. Yep. Right? And then they just keep repeating the process. But it's because they're working together. Right? And as black people, that's one of our main things. We've been conditioned
work together.
Not to work together, not to stick together. That's not my philosophy. Whenever I can go black, I'm going black. That's right. I mean, if everybody else can do it, I think we should do it, right? There's, but the philosophies and all of this stuff, if you just stick together, you got to have the positive mindset, and you can't think that you're not going to run into no issues. Even when I get a home and I say, all right, well, what's the bid? And then they'll give me a bid. Like, the first house I bought, it's a snake in the wall. Remember? I said, a snake? What? Yeah, it was big. And it had eggs in there. Right? So I was like, whoa. Right? Hey, you got to tear up the wall. Hey, that wasn't in the bid. So, do you want to keep the snake in here, or you want to move it out? So then, there's always going to be obstacles, but if you stay positive, if you have the right mindset, if you network, and most of all, if you put the right positive energy into any situation, no matter what it is, it's going to come back to you. See, if you put that negative energy or you have a negative mindset, that's going to come back to you. So that's what I never ever try to do. I always try to put the positive energy into everything. Somebody could come up to me talking crazy, and don't get me wrong, I'm still working on myself. I'm gonna give them some energy back, right? But then I'm gonna turn around and be like, so how was your day, Black? Because I can flip that switch where I don't want to stay down there, right? So real estate, whatever you want to do, and that the best thing, if you're not gonna do these tax liens, if you're not gonna if you don't want to be an investor, or you want to start off small as an investor, is to get a fourplex, right? So I'll leave you with this last piece of information. Fourplex is the highest number you can go before the bank considers it a commercial loan, right? So commercial loan means you're gonna have to come down with 20%, right? So how high these prices are now. You're like, 20%? No, I don't want to pay 20% of $800,000, right? That's $200,000. Now, what you do is you go get you a fourplex, and if it's $800,000, you pay 3% to maybe 5%, right? That's more feasible. Now, if you take that and you put into play, you go get a grant. It's your first time home buyers.
They don't believe in grants.
This is all the stuff. I mean, even If y'all got kids, if y'all, I got one more. If y'all got kids, I saw this done in the early 2000s, right? So I was going to college, and I said, how these white people got these big old houses? All of them. What is this, right? These kids would be living in a big house. And so I'm like, what is this? So they would take the original down payment of, say you're starting as a freshman, and this home was back then maybe 150,000. And you take what's that, $10,000, and you get this property. So say you get this property for $10,000, and then you put your kid to work. You're gonna live there, but so are your 4 friends. So are your 5 friends, right? You make them pay the rent, your kid basically gets to live there for free, and as the property value is going up, right? So I saw them doing that, and I've been trying to preach this to my family and to other black families for so long, that the way you go about it is you have to make sure that you take the initial risk and investment, because it's gonna pay off, right? Think about how much money that we probably spend on unnecessary stuff, right? Just unnecessary. So if you can have the discipline in order to be able to make the investment, the prosperity that you and your family will receive is gonna be life-lasting. Like really, really life-lasting. When you think about if you can take your income tax, and this is one I told my own cousins, like, girl, you got 4 babies. I know you get $10,000 to $15,000 back for taxes every year, right? Why don't you have a house? Don't go buy a new car. Don't go shopping. You tell them, take that money, put it down, get this property, and watch how their life changes. Watch how your family's life changes. Just traditionally, it shouldn't just be grandma that had the grandma's house. It need to be everybody's house. You know what I mean? Even from when you're going to college, okay, you're going to college, but let's get this house. And then when you graduate, so I've seen people do this. They would get the house, appreciation went up 6, 7, 10, sometimes 12%. Sell the property, right? Pay off their student loans. They pay off their student loans. See what I'm saying? There's so many ways that you can use this real estate to help you to where you can't just look at it from one angle. There's so many avenues to help you advance. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I appreciate y'all for having me out here. If anybody has any questions, I'll be willing to give you my number, whatever it may take. If you want me to have a conversation with anybody anytime. Like I said, I come from a missionary family. We used to drive the bus and go pick up 80 kids to go to Sunday school. So I'm fine with that. I'll help people at any given time. It's just not an issue. But thank you.
Thank you. All my brothers from another mother. It's so exciting. Come on, let's give Corey another hand. And Bishop Don. So what Corey was saying to you is really important. He said something key that we stay connected. And so many of you that's sitting here know that I've been writing grants for over 32 years. And so we write at least I write myself. I write over 250 grants sometime, not a week, maybe in a month. And so a lot of times what he was saying, grant writing is real. And a lot of people don't realize that knowledge is power. You know, knowledge is power. Learning how to do. We invite so many people to the grant writing table, and they don't want to come to the grant writing table, but the government give $1 billion. This is how crazy it is. The government gives $1 billion a year to each section of cities. And so most of the time, that $1 billion go back because we don't have enough grant writers. And so especially in America, there are only a few grant writers. So that's one of the reasons why we're pulling real hard together to get our grant writing apprenticeship program. We had it out there. We are ready to put it out there. We will teach grant writing here too. We have real estate investment classes. You guys, they low, dirt cheap. He was talking about real estate investment tax liens. Tax liens are some of the easiest to get. It's not rocket science. It's not, you gotta try to figure out anything, but there is, like he said, there's cheat sheets, there's cheat codes, there's cheat books, so you can do it properly, because if you do it properly, you know, he explained, he gave you guys so many formulas, and so that's what this facility will do too. We teach real estate investment. One of the things that he said that was really key is real estate is how you're gonna get money. Real estate, stock, grant writing. Take our grant writing class, you know I'm plugging it. It's how you get money, because other avenues not going to take you. It will get you money, but not generational wealth. And that's what we're trying to do. So we thank you again, Corey, for that. And so we have our next speaker, who I know him personally. He is a very humble person. Most of the time when people see him, they always say, he don't look humble, but he is humble. We grew up in the Church of God in Christ, and a lot of times people criticize him for being a party promoter and an entertainer, but not only is he a party promoter and entertainer, he is he's a financial guru. A lot of people don't know that about my brother. He's into finance. He worked for Wall Street. He knows a lot about being successful. So I'm going to tell you a really quick funny story about my brother. My brother, in the entertainment business, the funniest person that he had, my brother had people call me all the time, but the funniest person, 12 o'clock midnight, my brother had R. Kelly on the phone. And he said, pray for R. Kelly. I thought he wasn't real. When R. Kelly got on the phone, my brother had met so many wonderful people. I'm so excited to have my younger brother here on this platform. Man, my baby. You see, he's cut to death. He's always cut to death, but he's going to be talking to you about financial empowerment, what we talk about every day. Let's welcome to the stage. They call him Black AZ, but he my baby brother Steve.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Well, I got some special people who came. I definitely want to honor one of my best friends, business partner, Corey Wallace. He flew all the way in from Arizona. Him and his beautiful fiance, Chelsea. Come here, Chelsea. Come up here. Chelsea runs the nightclub too. She's the general manager. Chelsea and me and Corey been like brothers and sisters. They were really close friends of my brother Warren, who passed away. And for them to be here is amazing. And they got to fly right back, right down, in a couple hours be back and run the world's largest, best club in the world, literally, where we didn't have Cardi B, Offset. I can't keep naming, but the thing is, I thank y'all for coming. This is phenomenal. If I cried, I would cry, but you know I thank you. But I also want to thank Bishop Don for coming. He set his schedule out for coming. All my family members are coming. One of my close friends, Luke, for coming. Thanks for coming, brother. Thank you. First of all, I'm not going to be long. I just want to touch on a couple of things. Number one, before you think about How could I get money? You got to think about chasing God. You know, they say, before you find anything, find God, find yourself, then find the money. Because God is the wealth. We doubt ourselves. That's why we don't have what we want. You have not because you believe not. You have not because you ask not. Number one. And anything that comes with money, you have to believe it. Even though you might not see it, you got to believe it. I come from corporate America. I'm going to just give you guys my background. Outside the party stuff, that's small. Like, I come from a family, first of all, a praying mom, praying dad, praying aunties, uncles. My sister been in church since she was born, so she, you know, she prayed 24 hours. I don't think she ever seen a party, alcohol, nothing ever. She's literally like fell out the sky and Jesus just blessed her. Number one. We had to go through the tough, hard things. But money, for me, came from my mama praying. Because I don't think my mama ever worked, did she? But she always had money outside of my dad. I'm like, how did she get this money? But anyway, I never had to have raggedy shoes or hand-me-downs or things like that. But at 20, I got an opportunity to work in Wall Street at the Chicago Board of Trade. The stock market, if anybody don't know it, I worked in the stock market for 10 years. I worked for brokers. I did at least 15, 20 jobs. But they entrusted me with their money, their finance, their books, everything. I used to walk around with $1 million in checks in my smock, in my work pocket. Smocks was like these, work jackets. But I walked around with that much money on me. And I used to have to pay a lot of their workers. So this is, woo, I'm old, I'm 48, but not really old. But this 20-some years ago, and I'm like 23, 24, braids in my hair, a whole bunch of diamonds and jewelry. They entrusted me with their money. And I want to say this because God has entrusted us with his money. You don't work for your job, you work for Jesus, you work for God. The problem is, we don't know how to ask God for money. The first thing is, well, God, take ifs and buts out your vocabulary. That's the biggest thing. If you doubt God, why am I give you something? It's like your daddy. Daddy, if I can go outside, did you clean your room? No, okay, clean your room. Daddy, do you think I might? No. Take if. Dad, I'm going outside. Okay, your room clean? Cool. God is entrusting us with the earth. We are kings and priests of the earth. We can get anything we want in life that we may want. But guess what? You have to believe it. Get hand up. You got a question? Okay. I didn't know. Okay. I was going to answer your question. But money to me was speaking to existence. My sister said, like, I know you're a millionaire. Well, I'm a billionaire. Million? God, blank a million. Billion because guess what? My faith is building. Now faith, the substance of things hoped for, evident the things not seen. I'm not reading the Bible. It's in my heart. This is what I wake up. I wake up smiling. You know why? Because I'm chasing that bag. Guess who the bag is? God. Not the bank. Not the club. Not my corporate job. I've been in finance for 27 years. I've been working for a technology company for 10 years. At home. Black man working from home. In his underwear for 10 years. People are like, what do you do, Black? Finance. How? I didn't go to college for it. But guess what? Wall Street was my beginning. God will make your beginning and end. But guess what? If you doubt it, you ain't going to have it. The main number one thing I want to touch on, with our people, us of color. I'm the same. I grew up in the Wild Hundreds. I grew up in the hood. I'm really from the south side of Chicago. I'm really Chicago. Everybody, when I met Corey, where you from? Chicago, my hat was turned. He ain't tell you the real version, my hat was turned. I'm going to represent my city. I'm Chicago all day. But guess what? You got to fix your mindset. And your mindset is stop messing up your credit. I can't tell you about money until you fix your credit. You can't go get a house with bad credit unless you're doing cash only. You got that bad, you go cash out anybody. You go get a Bentley, Ferrari, the jewelry. I don't know what layaway is. What layaway? That's peasant talk. Well, I'm going to give you Walmart for a shirt, 28% interest on a credit card for a $9.99 shirt. You're going to be paying really $500 for a t-shirt. But still, you need credit to be able to do things. But credit is king, right? And cash is queen, right? Am I saying it right?
Right.
But you got to fix your credit. You can't get nothing in the world without credit. You still gonna need to be able to do something. You don't want to exhaust your finances just paying cash for everything. You're gonna still need to have credits. And I've been dead twice. I'm gonna tell you what dead means. I've been financially dead twice. You know what that means? I filed bankruptcy twice, just like Donald Trump did. One time for $1.4 million, the second time for $30,000. But guess what? I'm at a 700. And I'm happy. Everything is Stephen Pointer name. Well, let me say Dr. Stephen Pointer. Let me put that doctor in there. Because business people love to put their first part. But anyway, having your credit right is the first thing, but your mindset gotta be right. Stop doubting yourself. Get up and do something outside of what you see. God got everything for you, but you gotta believe it. Stop, man, I don't know. Stop watching TV. Get off social media. That's all lies, all tricks from Satan. The devil is the prince of the power of the air. He gonna make you believe everything. Oh yeah, you know, this celebrity is. Have them get bad credit. I'm around the biggest celebrities. You can ask Corey. Me and Corey been doing this for so long. I'm around the major celebrities every single weekend. They believe just like us. They gotta go to the bathroom and eat just like us. But they got bad credit. Credit on the floor. What's your FICO score? 0. You can't finance a bubble gum. But I'm worth this. They ain't worth that. Don't let them lie to you. That's all cap. Cap meaning like lies in the world. But you got to change your mindset. Stop doubting yourself. Anybody here that doubting yourself, that's your fault. You can't get mad at God. Stop kicking God. Saying, God, you did. God ain't did nothing to you. He allowed that happen to you so you can change your mindset. But you want money? I challenge each person in this room. Say, you know what? I'm about to be a billionaire. Let me go and get that Bentley right now. I ain't got the money. Jesus do. Jesus, I need that Bentley. Well,
Jesus got that credit.
Jesus got that bag and that credit. But you gotta believe it. One of my people, I was like, said something to him like, this about congratulations on this. They were like, I ain't get it yet. It's like, it is, it's already yours. And they just reply back and laugh. Because you know what? In my mindset, I was the youngest. I had to overcome a lot. I became having chronic asthma, had to worry about the gangs, I had to worry about my mama kicking my butt, my daddy kicking my butt, my brothers kicking my butt. I had to, the youngest, I had to run around after my brothers. But guess what? All that taught me a lesson is to be strong, to keep moving and keep pushing. Don't believe everything that TV says. Don't believe everything your friends. Stop listening to your friends. If you ain't got more business than me, why am I listening to you? If you shaking a cup on Stony Island with the red cup like, give me change, I ain't listening to you. What? I'm only listening to successful people. Success is what you make success. Guess what success is to me? Not money. Guess what it is? I dare anybody, one person ask me what is success. Anybody. What is success?
What is success?
Peace. Peace is success. You can't get money unless you got peace. You ain't got peace in your heart or peace in your mind. You warn against yourself. Stop blaming the devil. He laughing at you. He just put obstacle. You bust your head. Oh, devil, you did that. No, you just falling for the old fool. I ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Stop falling for the fool. But believe in yourself. As of today, I'm going to hold everybody here accountable on changing y'all lives. I'm one of those people, I'm going to take that belt and whoop you, like them old people do. But I understand why they did it, because guess what? If my brother somebody kicked my butt, I would have been a punk. My uncle said, better not be no punk. Better not have no spaghetti on your back. That means it was a punk if you had spaghetti on your back. Can't be scared to make money. Can't be scared to make opportunities. You gotta believe without believing. One of my closest good friends, Pastor Keisha, me and her talk a lot, and the mindset is, you see things, you gotta see things outside of what you see. The realm of God is supernatural. I don't live in the natural. Y'all be like, is this boy crazy? No. Guess what? Man, outfit, I can go buy the whole store. How's he doing this? Jesus, that's mine. It just happened. I can't tell you that it's the money, because it ain't money. It's your faith. Now faith. Substance the things hoped for, Evidence of things not seen. Man, where's the Bible at? But I'm not in the church every day like everybody else. Stop judging people. Stop. Everybody judging people. You don't know this person well. This man just came up here and talked all about real estate, God, and everything. This man just talked about real estate, God, and everything. But we don't know what their personal relationship with God is. We don't know. He might be the next king of priests. But we got to respect each other and change your mindset. Renew your mind. Guess what renewing your mind is? It ain't thus dying down, reading the Hebrew words or what it is. Renewing your mind and saying, you know what, God? Let me change that. My daddy used to say, cut the lights off. Change that channel in your mind. Well, my check ain't come. Go get another check. Man, my insurance took out $3,000 on accident yesterday. $3,000? Man, that's a lot of money. All right, I get it when I get back. I am dealing with it now. $3,000, that's a lot. Well, yes, it is. But guess what? Jesus got more than $3,000. Come on. Let's talk about a gazillion. Apostle, come up here real quick. You're going to get another. Come on. I want to hear that. Come on. Get up, please. Come here. I want to honor you because guess what? Me and this man flew 3,000 miles away. I got a whole party this whole weekend. Big parties. He'll tell you, we got big business. And guess what? I don't care how much it costs me to come here. How many outfits I buy. I ain't even go shopping. Man, you know how mad I am I ain't get to go shopping? But guess what? That shopping can wait. But to be here in her presence, for her to attend this building, to obtain everything that she paid for out of her pocket, no loans, no grants, none of that. Listen, she paying workers all the time. Okay? I talk to her every day. We don't talk, yeah, Jesus. We talk just like me and him talk. This is my best friend. She like one of the homies. But see, guess what? She applied the word. So follow the footsteps of the people that God put in place of you. But she deserves so much honor for multiple facilities. This girl got 100 doctor's degree. She been in the boardroom talking to Jesus and the Holy Spirit God. Like literally. She see them 24 hours. Well, how do you and God them ain't out like that? What do you say? I'm calling Jesus on the main line. Hello, Jesus. She got that back phone with Jesus. But I want to honor you and thank you for bringing me, my friends, my family, everybody here. It's good food. We're going to enjoy ourselves, but I'm blessed to be here. If y'all need me for anything, call God and call me on the mainland. God bless y'all. Thank you.
Come on. Let's give it up for my baby brother. Sit down for a minute. I'm so excited for him. You know, our parents, my mother, father died. Both brothers checked out of here. It's just me, him, and my sister. And so I just thank God for him because he stick with me, I tell you. My little brother stick with me. I'm so excited just to have him on this platform. My mother prophesied that me and him was going to be on platforms together, and it's happening. Somebody you should know. We're going to take a food break because, listen, you know, we're going to take a, I want you to listen to this really quick. It's really important. We're going to take a food break. We have our banquet hall downstairs where everybody may not be able to fit in there, but you can eat in the kitchen. You can eat in the skill set room. We'll show you where you can eat at. But what we don't want you to do is we don't want you to leave unless you have to leave, because what you're going to get today, we have gifts upstairs and have gifts downstairs. We want to make sure you get your gift, but we don't want to just give you a gift. We want you to hear all the workshop speakers. We have, after lunch, we have my friend, now I'm her pastor, my girl, Dr. Nakia Womack from the Department of Labor. She's going to be talking about apprenticeships. We have Dr. Anna Williams going to be talking about, come on. We do arts and craft, her arts and craft will bomb. We have Prophetess Edna that's going to do that makeup, your face. She's going to talk about makeup. And if you want somebody who can do some hair in a few minutes, stand up. I mean, she come to church with, I don't even be knowing that's her. I'm like, where's she at? And so we're just so excited, so pleased. We have those workshops for you. We have, we have, I love him. He is my cousin, but he called me auntie. I love him so much because I can call him. You talking about somebody, if you looking into building you a house, new construction, fireplace, kitchen. I had a little situation, and the situation called for his expertise. He can customize anything. When he came, I'm like, okay, I told the client, let's move the wall, let's do this. And she wanted a customized kitchen. He came in and made a $30,000 kitchen look like $1 million kitchen. You couldn't even tell. It is one of the coldest. If I'm gonna get me a house built, he got to build it. His designs are impeccable. I'm so proud of my little nephew / cousin. These all still my babies. He's gonna be talking about new construction, so don't leave today. And you know what? We're gonna say the best. I ain't gonna say I'm the best for last, but I want to talk to you about some money. How many of y'all want to hear about money? Yes. Money, how to get some finances, how to get property. I invest in a lot of stuff. I invest in real estate. I invest in people. I invest in churches. I invest in businesses. So I'm a serial business entrepreneur, but I'm a serious investor. And you know what? I have all my everybody important to me. He wanted a smart. You want to see somebody smart? I love my uncle. This is my mother's brother. I did not know he was coming. When I was in a little jam, because the Holy Spirit told me to graduate Jesse Jackson. And I'm like one of the greatest civil rights leaders of this earth. And the Holy Spirit told me to step back because I wasn't the one to do the graduation commencement. And so I always call Uncle to get me out of everything. I love this man. He is one of the smartest. I call it, he's a genius. Anything about anything. He can put some stuff together for you, from technology to whatever. He can fix your life in 2 minutes. Stand up, Uncle Rafi. I love him so much. He's the teacher at the university. That's what made me want to teach. I'm so grateful for him to be in the building. My aunt's here. My Aunt Roberta, my Aunt Ann. It's just so important to have your people here. So we're going to, my cousin, I love her. She actually she my cousin, she my friend, she my sister, and she brought some treats, co-pastor Lakeisha. We're gonna sample them treats so you can patronize her business. But what I wanted to do really quick before we break, we're going to do our kitchen dedication. The kitchen dedication is important because we have some important sponsors who are dedicating to that kitchen. If you go in that kitchen, they are going to supply me with $1 million worth of food for a year. I'm just grateful. A year. They already signed, because what I want to do with that kitchen is I want anybody that want to know how to cook, learn how to cook, use that kitchen to cook, use that banquet. Right across from us, because God had walked me into my wealthy place, is economic development. They actually building $1 million condos right directly in front of me. And so what we're going to do is, when they get through building $1 million condos, we will serve those people over here. Alrighty? We will serve them over here in our classes. We have so many linkage agreements, but I'm just a servant. If I can help you, please let me help you. I definitely won't hurt you. But we're going to do one quick thing before we break for lunch. We're going to, these are some of the 3 strongest people in my life. I tell you, I didn't even ask them to stay to midnight. I asked them to stay to 1 in the morning. I asked them to stay. they are so important to me because they graduated. I think they are some of the smartest men that I met, because in construction, one of the things why we push in construction so heavy, because in construction it's only 1% of African Americans and Hispanic of $1 trillion industry, and we not even getting a percentage of one. And so that's why our construction company is so important, and our apprenticeship academy. But guess what happened? We made a transition in our 10-month apprenticeship academy. We have 3 of the proudest graduates. They already graduated, but they graduated into our instructor program. We have added over, 2, thanks to my executive assistant. Can you stand up? I don't know why she's sitting way back there. My executive assistant, Deborah. She can plug into my mind and know what I want. So I was happy to add 288 or 300, 288 classes. They are construction classes from basic tool management to power tool management. Don't forget to get these handouts. We have added them. We have now an apprenticeship academy, and then we just transitioned. We have our second academy, which is our trade school. Yeah. We bring in all the trades here. So we just so super excited. So I want you guys to welcome them. They were, all of them, I don't know why, they came in class, and this is another fallacy about construction, especially with men. You can have all of the training, you can have all the, your uncle taught you how to do construction, but unless you got that classroom behind you and you got those certifications behind you, it don't matter. You will never make the money that you deserve. That's why we pushing for apprenticeship programs. But guess what happened? Floyd Owens, come up here. Yeah. Deacon Donald Outlaw, come up here. And Pastor Antoine, come up here really quick. They were doing construction. My husband was a foreman for the water department. He retired after 32 years. Pastor Antoine worked for, what they call Streets of Sanitation. And Floyd, we call him, I don't know why Floyd want to look like, he not called that, but Floyd on our block is called a master contractor. I'm telling you, Floyd can build anything. There's nothing Floyd can't build. And Floyd, the tool man, he got more tools than anybody. If you whatever drills, everything. So they helped me get this facility together, but they didn't just help me get this facility together. They earned their certifications in our first 10-month apprenticeship class. Can you give it to me? They actually, you earn 21 certifications. And so confined space, Deacon Outlaw is a confined space guru, because I was teaching confined space. He's like, nah, it's supposed to be tight like that. That's how it's supposed to be. And you can't put the people in the hole. And so I'm grateful for my husband. So they actually are turned into instructors for our academy that's going to start getting paid. Our instructors get paid $175 an hour. So they have, we teach behavioral too, because that's important. So we teach anger management. So they have certifications in anger management, sexual harassment, what else? They have their construction certifications. They have their certifications from the Department of Labor. So OSHA. So OSHA, they get their OSHA, because one of the things that's important, and that's one of the reasons why I'm pushing them so hard. I have my general contractor's license. It's very easy for black women to get general contractor's license, but it's very hard for black men. And so I can get a federal contract from the mayor. I just walk in, call, I can get any contract, but I wanted to help them get the contract. I want to help men get the contracts. I'm going off the scene. I've been called to do something else, and I really want to do it. I've been called to work in Washington, and I'm very excited. One day I'm gonna get there. And so, and it's a great job. It's an easy job. But I want to help men. And that's what we should do as people. We should help everybody, but we really got to push our men. Because our men are being killed. Our men are being genocide. Our men are being exterminated, and we're not doing anything about it. So we want to make sure. So help me welcome. They have all this here. They 21 certifications. They earned them. But they did the hands-on training. Pastor Antoine is a very meticulous person. Floyd, meticulous. They can build anything. Drywall, move walls, move anything. I'm just so excited about them becoming our instructors. These are 3 Kingdom apprenticeship instructors. They earned a certification. And they have that Department of Labor certification is important because they can go anywhere and make the money that they deserve. Let's give them another hand. So what we're going to do our dedication because we know our guests have to go. And so we're very excited about this. So if you can head to, for those of you that don't feel like walking, it's okay. But if you guys can head to the kitchen area so we can do our dedication, that would be awesome. And then we're going to feed you. We have turkey and dressing. Anybody like turkey and dressing? Anybody like chicken? Anybody like home and hoagie subs? Anybody like pizza? What else we got? Anybody like jerk chicken? We want to thank jerk chicken. Anybody? We got spaghetti. We got corn. We got desserts. We got ham. We got Garrett popcorn. We got a lot of nice gifts for you. We just thank Desiree Villas. We thank Amazon. We thank all of our partners that partnered with me to make this happen. We thank you. No vegan food. I'm sorry. Corn. I'm sorry. We thank Walmart. We thank so many people that have helped us do this. I thank God for my brother because I'm so grateful that everything that God had blessed me to do, I have not had to get not one loan. Not that I don't believe in loans. It's just that I don't have to get loans to purchase facilities, to purchase anything. God has blessed me to walk into my wealthy place. What I am good at, I'm good at finances and showing you how to find the money. And like my brother said, Jesus is the bag. And so let me help you. And so if you can walk over to the kitchen, we want to do our dedication really quick. And then we're going to